Thank you. Sri VP Singh Badnore.
So I stand to support the Payment and Settlement Systems Amendment Bill 2014. The Payment and Settlement System Amendment Bill 2014, as passed by the Lok Sabha, referred to the Select Committee comprising of 16 members of the Rajya Sabha on a motion adopted in the House on the 23rd of December 2014 for examination and submission of report thereon to the Rajya Sabha by the last day of the first week of the budget session, i.e. 27th February 2015. The committee held 7 meetings and we went to Bombay and had about 10 meetings there. The committee held deliberations with the Secretary, Department of Financial Services, Governor RBI, Clearinghouse Corporation of India, the foreign banks like BNP Paribas, and Standard Chartered Bank, Deutsche Bank, Citibank, ICICI Bank, State Bank of India. It also met the stakeholders, including Confederation of Indian Industries and Bank Employees, CII, SEBI, Bank Employees, representatives of the Fixed Income Money Markets and Derivatives Association of India, FIMDA, National Payment Council of India, NPCIL, Visa Card, MasterCard, and these were the meetings that we had. Sir, I will just want to, because there is paucity of time and I wanted to make a long speech, but I don't think I should, and the House is not wanting me to have one. So I will just say that the global recession of the 2008 had a great effect. And we had this bill, and before I go on to the amendments, I think it is important that I refer to the housing bubble of the United States. And if I don't, I think I'll be missing out on something very important. This act, and if I go to the original act of 2007, which is very important, and if it was the prefix or the sequel of the housing bubble of United States, which peaked in 2006, the exact scale and timing of the recession is debated and varied from country to country. In terms of overall impact, the IMF concluded that it was the worst global recession since World War II. It was also called the Lehman Brothers scam, and the bank went into liquidation. Everybody knows about it. And it had effect not just in the US, in Europe. There were countries which had balance of payment problems, and they went into the red. Because if US, there is a recession in US, its ramifications, impact had long bearings. But it is interesting to say, and when we asked the RBI about that Lehman Brothers, did they have exposures in India? And they said there was exposures in India, but the 2007 Act, and before that, the RBI was in a position to settle all that, and which is very interesting. Sir, I will not go into the details of all that, but there are few things that I would like to put on record. The amendments to the SEC Act proposes to increase transparency and stability of the Indian financial markets in line with globally accepted norms. The Payment and Settlement Systems Amendment Bill 2014 seeks to achieve the following objectives: to provide for netting and settlement finality in the event of insolvency, liquidation, or resolution of the central counterparty. Now, this is very interesting because netting is very important. If the exposure is large, the netting gives you a sort of a cushion that you don't have to give all the money, and it is accepted by everybody. They provide a legal framework to deal with new developments such as trade repositories and legal entity identifier. Now, this legal entity identifier has been proposed by the G20. that every account, every big account will have a 20-digit number. And this is very interesting because that gives you all the strength. Everybody will have that. So you know that who is exposing, how much exposure is from there, and they will all have the importance given because it may be from one country to another, one bank to another. The protection, to protect customers' interest in respect of prepaid instruments in the event of insolvency, as the minister was saying, of bankruptcy of payment systems operator. So I'll just take 2 minutes more. The governor RBI, in an afterthought, and this is very important, had also put up to the committee some important amendments. Now that was not our mandate, so we thought that we will just put it into the report. It is for the ministry to consider if they are important and whenever they want to amend it. As the governor felt, to dispense with the need for registration of charge under the new Companies Act in respect of the collaterals offered by the system participants to the system provider, as these change dynamically depending on market conditions, and it is practically impossible to continuously register or modify the charge, number 1. Number 2, rationalize the penalties provided under the PSS Act, including the increase in the quantity, because the penalty is 5 lakhs. Now today in this world, what is 5 lakh rupees? And he said that it should be to 1 crore rupees. So that should be looked into by the ministry at some time or the other. Empower RBI to appoint observers. This is very important because they feel that their observers are not there in the board of system providers, and they must have that. So that was another thing that they had said. And another thing which is very important, but this does not, it has to come someday in a different bill, is that the clearing house for the exchanges should also be there. That the SEBI also said that we must also have the same system, because if there is a problem of insolvency, that should not be there for the SEBI. So they should also have an exchange and similar amendments in the SEBI Act. Thank you very much.